Hi everyone, in this video we're going to be talking about reflections. An object can be reflected across a line of reflection to produce an image. This can be the x-axis or a y-axis, or it can just be a line. So for example, if you look at the diagram at the bottom of the screen, we have an image and a pre-image. The pre-image comes first, so we'll put a 1, and then the image. So we have pre-image ABC, and then we have image A prime, B prime, C prime. Again, we know it's the image because it's the one with the primes, or they look like an apostrophe. Here, the pre-image is reflected in line K. Each point in the image is the same distance from the line of reflection as the corresponding of the pre-image. So for example, the distance between C and line K is the same distance as C prime to line K, and that goes the same for everything. So the distance from B to line K is the same as the distance from B prime to K. The distance from A to line K is the same distance as A prime to line K. And the figure faces a different direction. So let's look at the order of the letters for the pre-image. A, B, C. That's going clockwise. Whereas, let's look at the order of the letters of A prime, B prime, C prime. It's going counterclockwise. This is explained in the next slide. The order of the lettering changes is what we call orientation. So like I said before, we have to look at the order of the letters. So A, B, C is going in a counterclockwise manner, whereas A prime, B prime, C prime is going in a clockwise manner. So if the orientation changes, you know it has to be a reflection. In all the other transformations, the lettering stays the same. It's only different in a reflection. Let's take a look at these 3 examples. Our first example, we have a reflection over the x-axis. So I have my pre-image ABC, and then I have my image A prime, B prime, C prime, and that's being reflected in the x-axis. One way to write this is a little r and the subscript as x-axis. Again, we know that the distance from A to the line of reflection is the same as the distance from the line of reflection to A prime. And that goes for all the letters and its corresponding letters. Next, we have a reflection over the y-axis. So here I have triangle ABC, which is my pre-image, and my image, triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. This is reflecting in the y-axis. We can write that as little r, subscript of y-axis. The distance between A to the line of reflection is the same as the distance from A prime to the line of reflection, and every point and its corresponding point. Lastly, we can reflect over any line. So for example, I have my pre-image, triangle ABC, and my image, triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. This is being reflected in this line. I can tell because the distance from C to the line of reflection is the same as the distance from C prime to the line of reflection. There is one box on either side. This vertical line goes through the x-axis at -2. So the line is x is equal to -2. We can write this as little r with a subscript of x is equal to -2. Lastly, a rotation is a rigid motion. Corresponding sides have the same length, and corresponding angles have the same measure. So a rotation is a rigid motion because it preserves side length and angle measure.